Think you don't have the skills you need to survive a night in the wilderness? Think again. I'm Erin with the Gwinnett County Public Library, and today we're going to learn a little homestead how-to. There are 6 basics you may want to consider if you're going to be spending time outside of the comforts of your own home. You'll need water, food, first aid, shelter, cord, and fire. Today, we'll be exploring these backpacking essentials. We'll be making s'mores and bringing them up a level. Then we're going to upcycle some fire starters. But before we jump into anything, let's begin with a little heat. Lots of ways to set a campfire, but most of them have 3 things in common: tinder, kindling, and fuel logs. Now the purpose of tinder is to catch your kindling on fire. So you want it to be small and easily combustible. Dried grasses, small pine cones, itty bitty twigs, something smaller than a pencil lead, and hopefully enough to fill your cupped palms. Now, a good rule of thumb with your kindling is that it needs to be smaller than your thumb. And you're going to need at least an armload because it takes a lot of kindling to catch on fire and keep on fire long enough to catch a fuel log. Because a fuel log should be as thick as your wrist and hopefully as long as your arm is from your elbow to your fingertips. You can put this on a lot of different configurations, but hopefully when it's all stacked up, it's up to at least your knees.
Begin with a clean fire ring or bonfire pit. Add a handful of tinder to the center. Build a pyramid of kindling around the outside of your tinder, leaving space for air to move through. Your fire will need oxygen to burn. Outside of this foundation, lay a small log cabin of fuel logs, stacking them up at least 12 inches. Insert a lit match to the center of your fire. If you plan to use a lighter or a flint striker as a source of fire, you may want to light your tinder before you set your fuel logs. Be careful. No one wants burnt fingertips. Once the tinder is burning, it shouldn't take long until your kindling catches and your fuel logs will be right behind. Just add marshmallows.
Hey guys, I'm Lindsay and I'm here today to talk to you about one of my favorite things, backpacking and camping. So when you're planning a trip, the first thing you need to think about is shelter and where you're going to sleep. So here I have my backpacking tent. When I first started backpacking a few years ago, I realized that the tent that I had been using prior was way too big and way too heavy. So this one is a great alternative. I love it. It is super lightweight. Currently I have the rain fly off so you can see inside. And in here I have my sleeping bag. So this is a cocoon bag. It is very, very warm. So it's perfect for winter camping and fall camping. In the summer, I do still use it. I just unzip it all the way down the side and it's nice and soft and fluffy. So underneath, I usually put some sort of barrier between me and the ground because it can be really hard or really cold. So I have, this is, it's like a temperature regulator, so it keeps me warmer. I usually bring an inflatable mat. It's great for backpacking because you just roll it down and it's really small. It's really lightweight. But I love this one. It's way more comfy. Recently, I began hammock camping. Hammock camping is a great alternative to using a tent because it's even more lightweight. All you need is your hammock and your straps and you can set it up pretty much anywhere. I love camping in a hammock. I sleep even better than I do in a tent, and it is really nice to be up off the ground and have a good cross breeze. I do have a bug net that I bring with my hammock, especially being in the south and in the summer. There are lots of bugs and a bug net just helps keep pests off you, so that's one less thing to worry about. If you're backpacking or camping and you're thinking about food, it can be a little overwhelming. So today I've just brought a few items to show you the basics of what I take with me. So first off, we have a camp stove. It's this little tiny part. Obviously it needs propane, and a kettle. The reason I love this setup is because I use it for coffee in the morning, breakfast in the morning, and MREs, which are the basic meal that I bring. So this is an example. This happens to be my very favorite. It's mountain chili and it is delicious. I would eat it on a regular day when I'm not camping. This brand is fantastic. They have gluten-free and vegan options too, and they're just great. I will say, make sure you read the label. Some of them are for families of 4 or for 2 people, and we have had a friend who made that mistake and made a dinner for 4 people and he had to eat it by himself. So watch out. So breakfast-wise, I usually make something similar to overnight oats and add in chia and hemp seeds or flax, dried fruit or something like that. If you have dark chocolate, that's delicious. But if I'm not wanting to do that or if I'm in a rush, then I usually just bring a granola bar. I love Bobos. They're delicious. Chocolate chip is my favorite. Additionally, I usually take some kind of trail mix, not in a glass jar, just nuts for snacking and dates. I love dates. They're a perfect snack for camping and hiking, and they're sweet. This is a little controversial, but we bring sardines with us all the time. They're not terrible, and you should try them. They're also really good for you. They have a great amount of calories and fat, which you will need if you're backpacking. I will say, in Georgia, we have to be bear aware, so just make sure that you always have something that you can put your food in to make sure that you're safe for the remainder of your trip. And trusty spork. Definitely need it backpacking. It will make your life better. And everyone needs a spork, really. Thank you guys. I've really enjoyed talking about backpacking and camping with you. If you haven't tried it yet, I encourage you to do so. It's great. It's a great way to relax and just be in nature. But again, I'm Lindsay with the Gwinnett County Public Library. I hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on a trail soon.
You don't have to spend the night in the woods to enjoy s'mores. You can make these tasty treats at home.
S'mores are a campfire classic. Today, I'm going to show you how to make them just a little fancier. I have some bacon, 2 cups of brown sugar, a baking sheet that's been covered with aluminum foil, and a rack to set your bacon out on. It's this simple. You take your bacon cut in half, and you're going to dredge it through some brown sugar. Once this gets thoroughly coated, the more the better. I always say, you never have too much sugar. Then you're going to put it on your rack. As soon as your rack is filled, you pop it in the oven at 400 degrees for just under 20 minutes.
20 minutes later, your candied bacon is out of the oven and you are ready to make the perfect s'more. Start with a graham cracker. Add 2 pieces of your candied bacon and at least 1 squishy toasted marshmallow. Top with several squares of your favorite chocolate and enjoy.
There are lots of ways to reduce, reuse, recycle when it comes to fire starters. You could dry out some old pine cones. You could take dryer lint and fill a cardboard toilet paper tube or egg carton. Today, we will be using paper cupcake liners and old candles to create a cute and useful fire starter that you could give as a gift.
Begin with paper cupcake liners. These have a foil backer. If you don't have that available, you can line your pan with aluminum foil or parchment paper. Fill the cups with dryer lint or sawdust. Add small pine cones or dried leaves for decoration. Melt your candle scraps in a double boiler and pour the combined melted wax over the top of your fire starters. Allow the wax to cool until it hardens. Once the wax is cooled, remove your fire starters from their foil liners and they are ready to use.
And that's it. Now you have everything you need to go out and enjoy the great outdoors, from the campfire to the backpack. I'm Erin with the Gwinnett County Public Library, and we'll see you next month for a little homestead how-to.